Saxony is truly a picture book story, but the true testimony is in what a tourist feels. So we went around the state and asked people to share their experiences. And we met people from around the world. Now let's see what people had to say.
My name is Marilyn Ward. I am from Vermont, in USA.
Is this your first visit to Saxony?
Yes, it is.
And how long have you been here?
3 or 4 days, and it's not going to be enough. I can see so many beautiful things. I am very impressed.
What inspired you to come to Saxony?
Our friends, Monica and Carl, live in Munich, and they have invited me to be their guest.
And what inspired you to bring your friend to Saxony?
Well, in fact, Carl and I, we have been to Dresden for several times, and the first time we were in, we just fell in love with that city. And last year we even bought an apartment over here because we think that when we retire someday, we will move from Munich to Dresden. And we told Marilyn about that, and Marilyn said, oh, I wanted to go so bad to Dresden.
And why have you come so many times to Dresden?
Because we love the people from Saxony. I think their accent is so cute and they're so very friendly, and we just love that city because it gives you such a big variety of things to do, while Munich is even bigger, but Munich is so big it's just too much for us.
And very crowded as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So over here it's more romantic.
And the buildings are just beautiful. And I always wanted to see these buildings, and it is a real thrill to see them now. Oh, I think it's beautiful. And the surroundings are beautiful, the people are lovely, everything looks so nice and welcoming. And I know that if we were staying in a hotel in New York, comparable, we couldn't afford to stay there, but we could afford to stay here. Well, it's much more valuable as far as the amount of money that you are spending. You have a lot more value in Saxony. Yes, and the food as well.
Last question.
Yes.
Would you come back?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
We are from Riverside, California.
You are here all the way from California in the city of Dresden.
Yes.
And may we ask you, how long have you been here?
We actually are on a tour. We were visiting a few other countries before we got to Dresden.
So you are with a group tour?
Yes, we are.
And before coming here, did you have any idea about what Saxony is all about, or Dresden?
We heard, of course, history-wise, we heard about Dresden, the World War II and all that, but not Saxony per se, you know.
You didn't have any idea?
No, didn't have
But
any.
the little time you have spent here, what do you think of these surroundings and this city so far? What is your impression?
Oh, it's a very beautiful city, wonderful. We really had a good time visiting all the monuments, especially this beautiful church.
The Frauenkirche Church.
Right, yes. The Opera House, you know, the Royal
Palace.
Garden, Royal Palace Gardens.
The
and all.
Swinger.
Swinger, right, yeah, right.
What would be one message that you would give back to your friends in California after your return from Dresden?
Well, if they ever get a chance, come and visit this place. It's beautiful.
At Steiger Restaurant in Dresden, where the pleasure of beer meets mining tradition. Of course, where else would it be? Germany is where we have real beer, real roads, and real cars. And there's more beer consumed in Saxony than any other part of Germany. Cheers.
Lucy Chan.
And what part of China are you from?
I'm from the south of China, Canton province.
Very nice. And is this your first visit to Saxony?
It's my second, actually.
And what brings you back to Saxony?
The music festival here. It's really impressive. And for example, they have this concert surrounded by the vineyard in the Schloss Wackerbarth. The concerts also take place in different churches, and that all the churches, different churches, have very different atmosphere in it, and I'm very impressed.
What has your experience been with the people of Saxony, the food, the environment?
Oh, excellent. I think people are very warm here and friendly and very helpful if I want to find my direction to somewhere. Sometimes because my orientation is not that good.
What is one message you would like to give back to your friends and family back in China?
I think Dresden is some place that is really a hidden jewel in Germany that is not that well known in China yet. Probably most of my fellow citizens probably back home, they know about Berlin and they all go to Berlin or Frankfurt or Munich, but then Dresden is really a nice place. I find it very romantic, the surrounding here. Yeah.
Romantic is a word that has been used by several other guests that I have talked to. Lucy, you mentioned music brings you back to Saxony again and again. Did you know that Saxony is also home to some of the best musical instrument manufacturing here?
Perhaps not.
But you didn't know about it. But that's the Falkland region. And here is the world's smallest harmonica. Have you ever seen this?
No, I haven't.
Would you like to have it?
Yes.
And do you play harmonica?
No.
Would you like to just give it a try?
Okay.
See?
Nice.
Music rests in the walls, in the people, in the heart and the soul of all the Saxons. We are the music capital of Germany and of musical instrument manufacturing, and you may have this.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And today it's a beautiful day in Dresden, and we have just met some guests from Bavaria. So let's talk to them what they think about Dresden and about Saxony. You are from?
Munich.
Bavaria?
Yes, that's
And what
right.
brings you to Saxony?
We're kind of traveling around Germany.
All over Germany?
No, Saxony.
Saxony?
Yes.
First visit?
No, second visit.
And why did you come back?
Because it's very beautiful here. All the buildings around the church is very nice.
And how many days are you going to be here?
Only one day today. That's the only day what we are here in Dresden, and today in the evening we go to Chemnitz.
This will be first visit to Chemnitz?
Yes.
Beautiful sunshine in the city of Chemnitz. Art and culture. We are right here in the square with the wonderful church, the opera house, and the museum. We are in the art museum of Chemnitz, and I have to be soft here because there are a lot of people in the museum, but I see some visitors here. Excuse me, where are you from?
From Argentina.
Argentina, South America?
Yes.
How long have you been here?
For 1 week.
1 week.
Yes.
And what brings you to Chemnitz?
The art?
Art.
Yes, of course.
So you know about Chemnitz in Argentina?
Especially?
Oh, you an artist?
No.
Are you an artist? Painter? If I speak Spanish, maybe it is easier for you. But you have a message for your friends if you go back to Argentina, what you would tell them about Chemnitz, about Saxony?
Yes, it is grateful what it's to see in Saxony, specifically in Chemnitz. I'm without breath what I'm see here.
Well, thank you so much and welcome to Saxony and enjoy your time. And please tell your friends about it. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And you come from?
London.
And you're driving, flying. How did you arrive?
We drove from London through the Channel into Germany. We went to Hanover, stayed there. Then we moved on to Berlin, stayed there for 3 nights, and now we've come to Leipzig to see this wonderful city, and we're moving on to Dresden and later on to Prague and Switzerland.
Ma'am, any particular motivation what made you decide to include Leipzig or Dresden in your itinerary through Germany coming from England?
Because I have had a look in the internet and I saw it, and I saw it had lots of history about it, and that it had been beautifully rebuilt after the war.
So far, what has been your impression?
I think it's a very nice town. We would come back here for a short break weekend.
Yes, we're going to stay at Dresden this evening, and the idea was we'd visit this part of Germany to see which we liked with the car, and then we could fly out and have some weekends at the places we like. So we like Leipzig very much, so we'd like to come back here, and also we hope Dresden too.
How have you been liking it so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I originally came just to keep my parents company, but I thought it's been good, like from a cultural standpoint, to see different part of Europe. I haven't been this far east before, mainly to Spain and France, but yeah, it's very nice, and obviously they've did a really good job of rebuilding it after.
And you've never been here before?
Haven't been to Leipzig before. Been to Germany and Cologne in the west a lot, but never to this part. So we've missed out, I can see that. It's beautiful.
I think anyone coming to this town would come back here more than once because it is just lovely.
Leipzig is a city with a flair, a city of music and the oldest trade fair that has made significant contributions to art, history, music and literature. The Auerbach Keller inspired Goethe's Faust, Martin Luther and Bach's music. The most outstanding contribution of Leipzig in modern times was the beginning of the downfall of communist rule. It was the peaceful candlelight march of 1989 that brought the Berlin Wall down and reunited Germany.
United States.
You are a tourist?
I am a tourist here, yeah. Well, we're visiting a friend who is also an American and a student here.
I'm studying music at the Leipzig Hochschule.
What has been your experience in the last 2 days in Leipzig?
I think we are admiring the beautiful city and all the history, and everyone seems very friendly.
That has been heard so many times, that Saxons are very friendly people.
Amazing food and culture and beautiful architecture, just a lot of rich history.
I've just had an incredible time getting to know people from Leipzig, and the music performances have definitely been the highlight for me.
We're standing right outside
the Thomaskirche.
Yes, and what do you know about this place?
This is where Johann Sebastian Bach worked for the bulk of his career, and the church for which he composed a lot of his cantatas. And it's a pretty incredible experience to be able to sing inside of there, right next to his grave.
Would you come back?
Oh, definitely.
Are you likely to go to Dresden? Are you going to take them to Dresden?
Yeah, I would like to go to Dresden.
And what have you heard about Dresden?
A lot of things connected to World War II that I'd like to check out, experience.
I'm from India.
Is this your first visit to Leipzig?
Yes.
And how are you liking it?
It's very nice here. The people are very friendly. It's a very beautiful city. And there are a lot of historical things to see around, like the churches and the town halls. And there's also a river trip which I'm planning to take.
Very nice.
And it's a nice city, yeah. I've been to Dresden before.
And what was your experience in Dresden?
It was very nice. Although I had heard that, it's in the East Germany and all, but my experience was very, very, very nice. That the people are very friendly. They help you because I don't speak German, and for me finding things or looking for things becomes really, really difficult. And sometimes when I came, my friends were not around, and I had to really ask help from people, and they were very nice. They would open their iPhone and look for the streets and where I have to go give me the exact details. So it was very nice, yeah.
So the experience with the people of Saxony have been good?
Yes, definitely.
And anything else you want to say about Saxony?
Everybody rocks.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
That's a map of Dresden.
This is Dresden.
And may I ask you, what are you doing in Dresden?
I'm having a little holiday here. I'm visiting the sites.
Very nice.
I'm enjoying Dresden.
And how long have you been here?
Almost a week.
1 week?
Almost a week.
What is your impression about Dresden?
I think Dresden is very beautiful. It's very historic. I'm learning a lot of history about the Saxons. I've been sightseeing through the different churches. The museums are stupendous.
Stupendous?
Oh.
That's a beautiful word.
I've been to the Green Vault. go and visit the Green Vault.
So before one dies, you have to see the Green Vault.
It may be twice.
Twice.
Once was not enough. I'm still thinking about the Green Vault.
In awe. You said something about Saxons. So why did you make that comment? Saxons, the people, anything in particular comes to your mind?
They seem to be very outgoing people, very personable. I don't speak German. It seems everybody tries to help. I was in a cafe trying to order a breakfast, and the clerk didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any German.
Wow.
And through some sign language and pantomime, we're trying to communicate with each other. And several of the people in the restaurant actually got involved with it. And so
Trying to help.
Trying to help. So after all was said and done, yes, I did have breakfast. And the clerk learned the word for orange juice.
Would you experience the same in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco?
I would say Chicago, yes.
Because you're from Chicago.
But I'm from Chicago, so I would be partial, yes. Yes.
Any particular message you would like to take back?
I would recommend that everybody come through Dresden. I mean, we hear about Berlin, but I think Dresden's a forgotten jewel. And I would highly recommend it when I hear people are going to go to Berlin, I'm going to say, rearrange the itinerary, stop in Dresden first.
How nice, how nice. Would you come back?
Definitely.
Some 302 years ago, in the year 1710, there was an accidental discovery of porcelain, the first in the Western Hemisphere, by an alchemist in the court of Augustus the Strong. For the next 150 years, Meissen porcelain was produced in the Albertsbruck Castle until it grew to be too small. Then the location was moved to this particular place where I stand today, and Meissen has been produced here ever since. Meissen's trademark, the blue-crossed swords, have been in existence since 1722. People around the world have changed their trademarks except for one, and that's Meissen, which is why it's so special. Now, we've met several people from around the world, and we have some friends here from the United States. And that's Chris from Portland, Oregon, who is in Meissen at the moment, is an artist herself and knows a lot about the porcelain. My question is, why Meissen?
Oh, well, Meissen, I came here because of the porcelain, of course. 300 years of porcelain.
What's so famous about this porcelain? Porcelain was also invented and discovered in China, though.
Right, but in Europe, Meissen was really the first place that had the fine white porcelain like China.
And what's so special about this porcelain?
It just has this luminous quality and these details, and then at Meissen they have this 300 years of craftsmanship and skills that are handed down generation after generation. So really the attention to detail and the quality of their work can really show the true nature of the material.
Meissen porcelain is incomparable to any other porcelain in the world, as I have heard. From an artistic viewpoint, what do you think?
Yeah, it's the finest. Definitely the finest.
Do you own a piece of Meissen?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
And you've been in Saxony, so there are other places other than Meissen that you've been to?
Yes, I visited Dresden a few times to the museums there. Dresden is fantastic. It's just the old world city. And this next week I'll actually go to one of the operas there. And I'm looking forward to seeing the new opera house.
And your overall experience in Saxony?
The people have become like family to me. They're very warm and hardworking. And I think that the food, it's an interesting mix between this older German kind of heavier foods that were really great in winter, and now they have the fresh produce and the salads and everything that I really enjoy.
How difficult it would be to have an American without a salad, I guess.
Exactly.
They just go like cars in America, and
True.
salads go together.
Yeah.
What's one message you would send back to your family?
I think you have to come visit it. Can't miss it.
We are from Japan. It's the first time to be here.
How do you like Meissen?
It's fantastic and marvelous.
Marvelous?
Yes.
Did you know about Meissen before you came here? Did you know?
Yes, I do, very much.
Why do you know? Why is it famous in Japan?
We Japanese like tableware.
And you are going to buy a nice dinner set?
Not now, but I'd like to buy soon.
Soon. And how is your experience?
I have very good impression. I recommend many friends to come here.
And you are traveling in a group?
Yes.
How many people?
We are 33 persons.
Everybody from Japan.
Yes.
And for the first time in Saxony.
Yes.
And you will come back.
Yes, I will.
We will wait for you.
Thank you so much.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
はい。
Thank you so much.
The discovery of white porcelain in Meissen, popularly known as white gold, was one of the finest inventions by mankind in the world of art. Today's day, Meissen has grown to its new level of excellence with the fine art of painting on porcelain. Hello.
Hello.
How long have you been painting on porcelain?
34 years.
And you like it, obviously?
Of course.
Is it different than painting on canvas or paper?
It's very different because the texture is other and the colors too, and that's why it's a very special kind of painting.
So there are special artists who are capable of painting on porcelain. Everybody cannot do it, I suppose.
Yes, that's right, yes.
And you are one of those exceptional people.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you too.
That was a brief insight into what people are saying about Saxony. Indeed, one message came out loud and clear: romanticism and the people of Saxony. That is the passionate asset of hospitable Saxons for welcoming tourists from around the world. After all, it is the state of the arts. Come home to Saxony.